allowed the two
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary.
Bó bá ṣe àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun diary.
Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. Please share this broadcast, okay? Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Maiyegun today.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹ́gọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu.
Maiyegun diary.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary.
If you are watching me from Abule Ado in Lagos, please, we would love to hear from you tonight. By chance.
Ní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Thank you.
Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
It is going to be an interesting night as usual. And I would love a lot of us to, please, if you can, put emotion aside. I actually want to speak to you. all of us tonight.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí fa ayé ìṣúra yìí, aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òwò ayé ìṣúra yìí, òkúra olóṣèlú ayé ìṣúra yìí, ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ṣúra yìí ayé ìṣúra yìí.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. And this is Maiyegun live. Thank you so much if you have taken your time to read the caption of this broadcast. Read the description as well. We are dealing with two issues tonight, and both are bordering on immigration. In Nigeria, the political part of it, okay, as well as in the United Kingdom. There is also politics behind both. But we will start from Lagos, Nigeria. A lot of us have been seeing the videos of, Lagos residents, homeowners who have been made homeless. And the most reactions to it, which I have also noticed, have mostly been like, one, maybe they built their houses on on drainages or something like that, or waterways, or maybe they bought the land that is in dispute, or different excuses that people were given, right? And others are pretty much like not bothered. More or less like, a lot of you who are Igbos in Lagos, you saw it coming. That why are you still there? Why have you not done this and all of that? Again, these are reactions I have sort of monitored and followed on this issue. At the same time, I kind of wanted to know, because to me, seeing all of this, my first reaction was like, oh my, this is insane. Like, what could have really gone wrong that the people in authority could not find a way around it without this multi-billion naira destruction of properties and lives? So this is insane. But of course, you won't completely ignore all I said earlier, the comments, which many believe are conspiracy theories, and people are just like, no. Tonight, I am going to give you clarity on what is going on. Now, what you will do with the information I'm going to give to you tonight is completely up to you. That is why I said we would have to put emotion aside and try to understand what is going on, so that other questions you are asking yourselves, why this may be able to help you to understand what is really at play right now. And Lagos is the incubator for something still bigger, that even those who believe that they are currently not targets, they will not be spared when this whole thing finally matures. So I want to call your attention to it and leave out emotion out of it. Mistakes have been made. I have sort of figured Now, here is the story. If you have been seeing all these beautiful, beautiful houses being demolished at Abule Ado, the owners of the land, a lot of them have been living in fear of this happening for more than a year, especially during the elections. I mean, the Igbos, who have been part of even Tifnumbu's political circle, there are Igbos right there in Lagos because they have their investments there. They have their families there. Many of them were born in Lagos. But there is always this easy and what you can say is like an embedded political ideology that will always make the Igbos a threat. Igbos are not threats to Yorubas. Just for you to understand what I'm about to tell you now, Igbos are not threats to Yorubas, and Yorubas knows. But the Igbos are considered threats to Tifnumbu's political survival, even when they are not per se. But here is what I have figured. Nigeria, for number one, Nigeria shouldn't have been a country, okay? Like all of us together in that same country without us actually agreeing to do that. Here you get. The Igbos that you see in Yoruba land today, the Yorubas that you see in Igbo land today, and vice versa, and all over the place, they will still have been in those places, even when they are not part of Nigeria. And by so doing, the idea of go back to where you come from, go back to in the same country, would have been so easily defined if we have Yoruba nation, Arewa nation, the Kwararafa, the Middle Beltans, the Igbos, the Jaws. I mean, like, let everybody have theirs, their country. So those who would have been, I'm just giving an example, a scenario here for you to understand the complexity of this in a bit, okay? If Nigeria wasn't a country, the same way you will see some Europeans telling Africa, they will say foreigners should go back to their countries, go back to where you come from. And when you look at the tongue and the language of the Tifnumbus apologists, the Lagos Abobakus, the Agberos, it is similar to that. The difference is that the Germans will not tell the Germanese who are Southern German, be the Eastern Germanese. They will not tell the Eastern Germans to go back to the Eastern Germany, go back to where you come from, go back to, you know what I mean? They won't say that in Germany. But Germans, because they are all Germans, Germans will tell foreigners who are not Germans, go back to where you come from. But it is kind of unheard of, for you to have a section in a single country, Nigeria, where a section will say, go back to where you are coming from. Okay, now let's come back to the ideology behind people with this kind of a political power. In Eastern Europe and some part of, in fact, it's not even just Europe now. All over the world, if you have been following the news, you would have been hearing about far-right political group. This political group is far-right. Far-right defined as the politics of segregation. They said the segregation of groups deemed to be superior from groups deemed to be inferior. Also commonly include authoritarianism, nepotism, racism, and xenophobia. If you are a Yoruba man or woman watching me right now, you see this video is also for you. In fact, it is mainly for us. Because there is something that we have not cleared. Most of us will easily say, we don't believe in Tifnumbu's ideology. And in fact, you are ready to call him out for it. We make it Tifnumbu's ideology, Tifnumbu's this or that. But there is something we haven't really agreed. That except for Lagos, where their pseudo-socialist, left-wing ideologies, which are actually like fake, it is only in Lagos that they have been able to form a government that has been sustained on tribal, ethnic superiority. And the rest of Yoruba land, there are people who admires the Tifnumbu's ideology, the ideology of segregation, xenophobia. You see, this xenophobia you are hearing in South Africa, that's exactly what is happening in Lagos. If you don't follow what we say, if you go against what the leader says, then you are an enemy, you are a foreigner, even if you are from the same country. This idea, the idea of the Igbos as the targeted ethnic group right now, okay, in Lagos, there are other parts of Yoruba land that you will still see handful numbers of Yorubas, who also believes that the Igbos are problems. They are foreigners in Yoruba land, even though it is Nigeria. They are foreigners. They deserved to either be killed, their properties destroyed, their businesses destroyed, and get them sent back to Anambra. There are handful numbers of Yorubas who also believe this. They are not from Lagos. They are not, some of them have never even been to Lagos. But you see the political ideology of Tifnumbu that has sustained power in Lagos has not been able to gain power elsewhere in Yoruba land. So the far-right ideology, when you type it in Google and read about it, I'll read something to you quickly. They said, what are the, is an example of far-right politics? Far-right politics, as it is, you have on your screen, right? However, they said, what is far-right politics? Far-right politics, or right-wing extremism, or hard-right, refers to a spectrum of political thought that tends to be radically conservative, ultra-nationalist, and authoritarian. Often also include navitism or navist tendencies. Now, make I explain that to you. As Yorubas, for you to understand the style of the political ideologies of Tifnumbu and how dangerous it is, not just for the Igbos who are currently tagged as part of Nigeria, okay, but even to Yorubas. When you go to some part of European countries, they will tell you that foreigners are contaminating their citizens. And the word contamination is not of anything other than they are marrying our citizens. Our citizens are giving birth to cross-raised children who are not going to be 100% loyal to our country because maybe their father or their mother came from other places. So in these far-right countries, the rights of all these citizens with this mixed birth, they are now being put down gradually and gradually, because according to them, they believe that all of the children of immigrants are those who are going to eventually take over the tradition, the custom of the place and impose their own on it. And if you pay attention very well, in their 2023 charade, when they were shouting the Igbos should leave, Igbos should leave, in case if you have forgotten, I can play you one, a quick one, just so you know.
So long that we are not even challenging. To say that I'm not hungry is just, I'm just kidding myself. I've not been able to sleep. I've not been able to do anything. I've been awake all morning and I'm still going to work today. This is totally uncalled for. And we really need to check this. If APC wants to still remain in power in Lagos State, they need to check and clip the wings of these Igbos, the Easterners coming into our land and taking everything.
Do you get that? The Igbos are coming into our land. If APC want to remain in power, the Igbos are coming to our land to take everything. You see, the person who said that, she is not living in Nigeria. She lives in Canada with her family. That was the tension, the tension their Charade election generated. And look at that statement. You must have heard that many times. Even you, who is a Yoruba man or woman, you've heard that many times. The Igbos come to our land and take over everything. Meanwhile, the same, the same Igbos, like others, who also, as part of Nigeria, who also migrated to Lagos, legitimately doing their businesses and even paying taxes, buying properties and building houses, marrying the people they came across and started families. Now you see, the idea of APC, Egbekegbe, was that it has come to that too. If your mama is Igbo and your papa is Yoruba, the ideology is that you are not a full-blooded Yoruba, and therefore you have no right in Yoruba land. And when we say right to leadership of Yoruba land, I mean, because the Igbos are coming to take over everything. Just the same language you have been hearing on different political campaign podiums all over the world. All of you who live in the diaspora, you have seen, in fact, some of you can attest that there are many political parties like this who have not been able to gain power in your different countries. And their campaign slogan is that you have been allowed to come to that country by the politicians who don't care for the locals. You are coming in to take the job. This is even different too. It's not that Lagos State government created these massive jobs and the Igbos have taken it all over. No. Not that the Yorubas opened different businesses and they refused to employ the Yorubas. They have been employing the Igbos. No. The fear that they have managed to sustain have nothing to do with the people other than themselves and the fear of losing that power. So a lot of you will know one thing, and I want you to kind of take this to heart. Whatever anyone says about the Yorubas, I'm still coming to you, the Igbos too. I'm coming to you. Whatever anybody says about the Yorubas, because of the actions of this minute few and their political ideology. You can take this to the bank. Even though we continue to tell you that they don't represent the Yorubas, but as Yoruba, we are going to admit that the idea of those who are in power in Lagos, that is promoting xenophobia, promoting segregation and ethnic profiling, go back to where you come from. Stop building houses. Stop buying lands here and building houses legally. Stop setting up your businesses here. You are a threat to us. You know what I mean? On one hand, they said the Igbos must obey what they tell them. And everyone is asking, what exactly are you telling the Igbos in Lagos? They must obey Ashiwaju and Ashiwaju, they must accept. But they are not in any way contending with that, Abi. But here is that danger. We have intermarried right before our very eyes. People who have intermarriages in their families. Some were even saying, if war starts today, there was this mad guy, because of this election too, he said that he's married to an Igbo woman. Okay? And if war starts today, she will be the first person he will kill before going out to kill any other Igbo he sees. All of these are the ideology that is so dangerous that APC, Egbekegbe, promoted. And as much as people will say, election is over, they should move on, what they said after 2023 was that what happened in 2023, it will never happen again. There was a time they said Odimegu Ojukwu was invited to one housewarming in Lagos. You know, the Igbos, like other typical Nigerians, they are very loud. When they are successful, they want to celebrate it in a big way. So they brought Ojukwu to Lagos to come and see this brand new estate and mansions that successful Igbo businessmen have managed to build in Lagos. And Ojukwu was put on the high table. And all of them, the Igbo multimillionaires, billionaires among them, they were filing out, you know, and as they were calling them and all of that. So it was time for Ojukwu to speak. They gave him the microphone and Ojukwu was like, this looks so great that you've come down to this place and you've been very successful in your different choosing fields. But this is going to be your biggest mistake, if not going to be the biggest mistakes of your lives. That you are so successful in this place, but you are so weak and weak-minded to take back your game back to your own homeland. And he said, you are in a place that we just came out of a war, and Nigeria hasn't healed from that, but you are putting all your eggs in one single basket. That's what he told them. He said, one illiterate or one bigot can wake up tomorrow with a stroke of pen, and pull down all these houses, pull everything down without blinking. The response of these Igbo billionaires was just to be like, you know what, they were going to go back and build even bigger mansions that they are likely never going to live in, or probably would never live in. Some of them went back and they started building bigger mansions and they left them there and all of that, but they continue the tradition of Lagos. And every time the rulers of Lagos, the political rogues in Lagos want to throw tantrums for any reason at all, they are always those who take the other end of the big stick. And they still get blamed for it. Go back to where you come from. Go back to Anambra. In the same country, I have spoken on this before, and I said, as much as it saddens, right, that those who have the power to really continue to build, I mean, genuinely build on the, what do you call it, the cosmopolitan nature of what Lagos has been known for over 100 years. But for politics, some people who are there, they are friends, royal fathers who are Igbos, who are like Easterners and the rest of them. I mean, I kind of remember that few of them rose at the time to say, listen, do not let the innocent people suffer for whatever you are going to do as the outcome of the 2023 elections, okay? Gbadebo, whose father gave them the current city hall, the land where they built the current city hall in Lagos. Gbadebo, whose grandparents gave the land to the administration of Lagos State, even before they gave birth to Tifnumbu, or maybe Ragbuju, whoever even surfaced anywhere. The same Gbadebo was sort of, was presented as Igbo. And you all remember how that went, Abi. They are not done with that right now. Here you get. So majority of you who also have your own children, who are of also mixed blood, the damages that election actually did. This is the physical one you are seeing. I'm going to show you a few. The marriages, the relationship, the business, the relationship that election actually ruined and destroyed. It was the first of its kind. But we probably thought they were going to really move on. But they are not moving on. They are going to demolish all your houses. If you are Igbo in Lagos and you happen to be, for any reason, you have no certificate of occupancy of your land by now, they say Sanwo-Iku hasn't signed some certificate of occupancy for a reason. And this is time to pull out the card. You understand? So the people who are taking back what you call the pound of flesh in order to prevent any future, what they believe as a future threat to their political survival. They don't give a damn about the lives that will be lost or that are already lost. They don't give a damn about the fortune that are going to be ruined or that are already destroyed. They don't give a damn. If it is going to send a message straight up, what would you say is the sin of the Igbos? That Gbadebo has an Igbo mom and suddenly became a contender for the seat of governor of Lagos? And you think that is the only thing? Let me give you another example. I have told you that of Jimmy Agbaje. It was the same template, but they didn't really go this far at the time. They called him Chinyere. They called him Jimmy Shuku. Again, one of them, which happened to be their former star boy, Pastor Ruga, declared interest to run for president. And these guys printed posters. They pasted posters of him all over Abuja. They pasted this poster of a sitting vice president because he also bought a form to run for president. They pasted all of this everywhere. And this happened to be somebody that you will say was one of them. They will go to anywhere. It is their politics. It is the politics of, segregation, xenophobia, authority, godfatherism, and the rest. They don't represent Yoruba people, of course. But do they exist in Yoruba land? They do. If they have a chance of imposing, if somebody with such mindset as well, it's just that the rest are just there to make money. I'm talking about others who are like in other part of Yoruba land. They're just there to make money. But if they happen to be genuine ones from Tinubu's school of thought, all they need to do is to just pick on any tribe or any ethnic nationality and use the instrumentality of the law to go after them. It is the ideology. Here you get. And the people behind this are those who identify with Tinubu this way. But in Yoruba land, even we, Yorubas, we are not really safe in their hands. Going against them, automatically even make us more of a bigger threat than what the Igbos will be. I don't know if that makes any sense to you yet, no? Don't worry. After the election, they wanted to destroy the Igbos. They actually vowed it. But these are going to be the innocent businessmen and women, resident homeowner and the rest of them. In any part of a place that you decided to put up a structure, start building a house, part of what you would do is to mostly you meet the landowners, buy from them, run into trouble because there could be probably 2-3 owners, or that will come back and say this and that with different court cases. And then they will give you the chance of, okay, now let's renegotiate. How much did you pay for this then? We can't ask you to demolish your house now or take your house away, but you are going to buy the land and the rest. So when it comes to the issue of land in Lagos, and mostly in almost every other part of southern Nigeria too, but especially in Lagos, land grabbers, land fraudsters, and the rest of them, they are kings. They are even like leaders in APC, Egbekegbe. So you see, citizens themselves are not really protected by the government that should keep them protected. So you are on your own. Until the time you manage to get the certificate of occupancy, which is the C of O. There was no fight or what have you on this particular, this particular part of Lagos. But they just had to go. They've told them since last year that after the election, all of you will have to go. So initially they told them there are some people, they built their houses too close to the road. So they were going to demolish those houses. That was the first violation they pointed out. Then, suddenly, their, their tractor, they started leaving the main road and they started entering the whole estates, entering the old street and the street everywhere. They started entering everywhere and they started giving them 2 hours. You have 2 hours, 2 hours. We are demolishing this whole place. This is not a street. And the population of those who became the victims, they are Igbos. You don't need an interpreter to understand that, but I'll share this with you. Check this out.
Landlord, one of the victims of the ongoing demolition here in Abulado. This is my property. It has been demolished. And there was no notice before encroaching on my property, destroying it. Even if I didn't have a FHA allocation, if they ask me to pay for the reclaiming of the land, I'm ready to pay. And they destroyed my property over 300 million. Yeah, My kids are homeless now. I don't know what to do next. And I still have some neighbors that are in hospital now. Some are having stroke now. Things are happening. So we are appealing for the government to help us to stop the demolition going on at Ablado. Kids are at the hospital. Please, I'm begging. I'm calling on the presidency to do something about this. Look at people's properties. Look at. Even if they say that some houses are built on the road, they are done demolishing those houses. Why entering into the street where people are living, making children homeless? Children are homeless now. They can't even go to school. About 4 people are dead because of this, out of heart attack, out of tension. People are dead. We have lost lives because of this. Just look at it. My wife is in hospital because he cannot bear it. She can't bear it. She has been hospitalized. As I am now, I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm very, very confused. I'm very, very confused. I'm homeless like this. There is ongoing committee. They've been making calls. They've been making calls. We are on the calls now. No response yet. But we are praying to have response because there are still ongoing demolition as we speak right here now. Illegal work.
700, in fact, sorry, it was 970 houses that they would demolish. It's like demolishing a whole town. I mean, there is nobody within the government that will say, hey, don't let us use propaganda to put these people into misery. All right? Number one, they did not build on water channel. They did not build on on wrong lands. No, they didn't. Okay? And if there are actually issues with their land document, let's even use that. Okay, let's say they have other documents, but they don't have the CFO because it's only the governor that will sign your certificate of occupancy. Here you get. And from what we heard, there are already tens of thousands of applications that are pending. And in fact, because of all these recent demolitions that they are carrying out without human face, a lot of people believe that the government of Lagos State, the governor of Lagos State intentionally did not sign the certificate of occupancies of so many Igbos because they have been the targets, or should we say, they have been those who have been at the receiving end, most of it. It is not because they have done anything illegally. There is no court judgment that says they have to demolish their houses or what have you. None. But to them, they just believe that even if there is any land dispute of any kind, they are willing to pay rather than lose all of this that they have put up. That there is nobody within the government agency, within the government circle, to actually sit down and put valuation on the destruction they are about to do. What do you think they want to do with the land after demolishing all the houses? Sell it to the Lebanese or the Chinese or what? It's not a public land from what all I have gathered, but I have been told that majority of them, they do not have certificate of occupancy, the CFO, even though, and I'm like, Why would you put up so much investment in lands that you don't have the CFO? Others are saying, even with your CFO, how long do you think it takes to cancel CFO, Maiyegun? Even those with the CFO, are they not demolishing their houses too? Are they being compensated? I was like, well, I mean, that could at least give you some legal stand where you can, take a legal action for illegal demolition and take compensation for your houses, for your house that they demolished and your land they forcefully want to take from you. You could get compensated. And I continue to get more questions from this person I was talking to. It was like, okay, so if the court, so this guy is obey court order, are you not the one who always talk about them not obeying court order? Do we not know that? So they will demolish your house and all of that, and then you go to court. So the court will now tell them to go and pay you 1 billion, and they will pay you the money. I was like, I don't know. But are there no people with human face to sit and say, listen, what can we make of this? The Igbos, they will put down tens and hundreds of millions of naira to buy swamps. They will buy swamp, invest another billions in trying to concretize the surface. They will then build their houses on it. After 5 years, 10 years, the government will bring the bulldozer and they will say, you have built on the waterways. And then you would expect that, okay, maybe they want to do a project of waterway project to ease out any flooding or anything. No, they will sell the land to other people. So the Igbos will go to abandon their land or part of the state, invest tens and tens of billions of naira, develop it into a commercial hub and everything, increase the rate of property rate in the area. In 10 years, then somebody will come and they will say, these Igbos always want to take over everywhere. Go back to Anambra. And the cycle continues. You are watching that video with some broken heart, weren't you? In 10 years' time, if people still don't want to learn that Nigeria is not one, when you have far-right fascists in government, you have a lot to lose. And stop calling presidency. Presidency will... Take a look at this one. All because of election. If another far-right ideologist takes over power in any part of eastern Nigeria, it doesn't take much. All he has to do, see, if somebody wants to take over power in eastern Nigeria too, they can begin to use this. You see what is going on? They can begin to use that and call it a self-preservation. The Yorubas, the Fulani, everybody must leave their land. And this is not going to be about people who are saying, at least you can see, a lot of people are already in Igbo land, for example, because of the atrocities of the Fulani terrorists. A lot of them are already saying the Fulani should leave their land. They should go away. In Abia State, a whole cattle market, they discovered over 80 bodies. Do you remember? Over 80 bodies of people inside the market. And these were the kidnapped victims. Their governor said, I'm relocating the market to another place. So we will have to because the market has become a crime scene. So we are going to give you another place to go and start doing your cow market. Okay, but you see this place? We would have to quarantine the entire place. But that is somebody who is not a far-right fanatic, Abi, who have no far-right ideology, like the Tifnumbus and so. In Igbo land, there are people who have far-right ideologies too. That's one thing every one of us should please understand. You see, when you hear the thought, when you listen to the thought of some people, and you are like, well, that's your own idea. That one na die you. You can't. I mean, somebody like you must not have access to power. If you have access to power, everybody go die. And then they will be like, hey, now everybody die. There are people in Eastern Nigeria, okay, who have been traumatized with the terror of the Fulani terrorists, yeah? So there are some of them, children, young, old, that they will wish that if they have power, if they have access to power, they will flush out every Fulani they see in their states or in their territory. And whatever they can do to make sure that happens, they will do it. And just like what is going on in Lagos, somebody like that will also gain power in Eastern Nigeria. And then for the first time, the actions of these far-right criminals in Lagos, will finally affect the Yorubas, who are just minding their business. Those who are working, those who are doing their businesses, those who have their families, the Yoruba communities in Igbo land, who are just going about their normal life. Jejely. That is how somebody will also use that power to truncate their own lives too. And it will now be eye for an eye that will eventually make all of us go blind. Because there are consequences for actions. All of your actions, when you do them, don't feel too comfortable. There will be consequences. And as for the Yorubas, who are living in denial, the reason why I don't like all this Igbo is that the way they talk about the Yorubas, the way they talk to Yorubas, and they know that because of Tifnumbu, they will be saying all the dirty nonsense thing about the Yorubas because of Tifnumbu. You are not wrong. You probably should be offended. I understand. But at the same time, for the first time, you too should admit that it is not just because of what the Tifnumbus and their supporters are saying. It is also what they are doing that are totally un-Yoruba. Here you get. And at this point, you shouldn't limit your rage at the Igbos who are attacking and abusing the Yorubas because of these rogues, calling Yorubas names. I'm not saying you shouldn't respond. You are not Omo Aleo. Here you get. If anybody say anything about the Yorubas that you don't feel comfortable with, you say something about their own their people that will make them uncomfortable. There is something that you should know. Okay? And that is, no matter how you react, you should begin to admit the existing danger that is not only going to affect the Igbos that you want to respond to, that you want to abuse their generation. You see that your own generation too are also going to be in danger of what the Igbos have become the victim of. Because you see, the idea of foreigner is now applicable to your family members, not just those who share Igbo ancestry. Even if in your entire family there is nobody who married Igbo, there will be a member of your family who married from other tribe and other ethnic nationalities. The ideas of this Tifnumbu and gang is that your children are going to be called tainted blood. Tainted. That will pain you more than Omo Igbo go back to Anambra. Omo Igbo will go back to Anambra anyway. Just like Omo Yoruba will go back to, what do you call it? Go back to Yoruba land. Everybody will go back to where they come from eventually. But where would your own children go when they are called tainted blood? Where do you think they will go? Because that is the one some of you are ignoring. To you, these ones represent the Yoruba people. But let us ask ourselves, can you all point out that special benefit as Yorubas, that you are benefiting from Yoruba land and in the hand of these criminals right now? That is making you far better off than any other Nigerian. I'm not even going to say Igbo or anybody now. As a Yoruba man or woman in Yoruba land. What is that thing? Be honest though. Look around you. What is that thing that makes the Yorubas, that put the Yorubas in economic advantage than any other part of Nigeria? That you can easily tell and say, all these ones, I don't mind them, now they are in Yoruba land. They are Yorubas. When you look at those who are like enjoying Nigeria right now, and the Yorubas don't try to copy them, because there is something called Yoruba privilege. And when everybody is complaining of no money, Yoruba people will be asking you, do you need money? What is that privilege? What? Because it is all fluke. Their socialism is fake. Because their own type of a socialism, which they pretend to call themselves a progressives, the progressives, pseudo-socialism, tokenism, that they turn to socialism is called pseudo-socialism. They give people, socialism is to say, okay, everybody must be fine, everybody must be okay, the state will take care of you and all of that. No. That's what they pretend to do. Give them 1,000 naira, give them 5,000 naira to lift them out of poverty. But these are a bunch of far right-wing extremists. Nobody's benefiting anything. Nothing. So when you look at that, and you see those who are promoting the idea of Yoruba this, Igbo that, and you can smell the stench of their ignorance miles away. Any other thing else than to just shake your head and be like, ignorant. So that is what I want you to please have in mind. That as you are thinking you are defending Yoruba, this Yoruba that, and this one cannot say this about us, and that one cannot say this about us, and the rest of that, just to remember that you are not defending the Yoruba people. You are defending the extreme, divisive, bigoted, political ideology, xenophobic political ideology of Tifnubu and his gang. And they have power to do anything they are doing right now. Everything they are doing right now. But you should know that they are not doing it in the interest of anyone but themselves. Not you. They're not going to take over that place and then begin to and decide to just build industry there and give all of you the keys and say, yeah, you are a mechanic, or yeah, take this space. You have this, you take that, take this. They won't build any economy for you. So if you think they are doing it for you, oh dear, I may not be able to really help you. They're not doing it for anybody but themselves. But why should they destroy all of this? And it's going to be a continuous recurring cycle and all of that. And to those of you, the Igbos, who are going to be the victims for the last time, see that you have even owned your house for the past 40 years will not save you. These guys will go to the farthest extreme end to destroy everything that is marked Igbo. And this is not even trying to incite you. I am only trying to remind you. Divest that I was saying. Divest your own investment. Sell out that property. Sell it. Save yourself the cost. Don't come and begin to calculate your losses when you see the rumble of your whole house or your business or everything. They will do it. Even if you have document for your lands. I remember when one local government chairman, and that was Odogbolu local government chairman, the chairman of my local government. We were having I was still very young then, and I will never forget this. So, Bolu Joko, that was his name. Kunle Bolu Joko. So we were having a chat. They were having a chat, and I happened to be sort of there too. And they were talking about some people in the local government, in the town and all that. Some of them were like rich people, considerably rich people. And Bolu Joko started talking about the power of government. It was a local government chairman. So Bolu Joko said, let me tell you something, young man. There is something about power. You don't need to be rich to use power. That someone with power can redefine anything at any time. Nothing is fixed. He said, for example, he said, I am the local government chairman right now. That look at that block industry over there. It's been there, before I was born. And he said, I could come out tomorrow and say 50 years ago or 20 years ago, the local government redesigned the town planning of the old town. And right now, there must be a double carriageway that will pass through the land of that block industry. And that's how the block industry is going to cease to exist. That if the man decides to go to court, that before the court even finally make decision, it would have already graded the road, clear all the block industry out, clear everything. And people would have seen that he's trying to build a road. Okay? The people that are seeing a new road, they will not blame him. They will begin to look at that owner of the block industry somehow, like it's somebody against development. So instead of people to question the rationale behind redesigning a road that has to take out, you know what I mean? They won't see it that way. And he said, that is what power is. No matter how rich that man is, the owner of the block industry, no matter how rich or how connected he is, by the time he come back from the court with judgment, I would have done, I don't have intention of building road, though, but because of him, I can use the government resources and construct a road there, even if I'm not going to complete the road. But the block industry will cease to exist without having to just go there and say, I want to demolish your block industry. And I was like, that's true. You know what I mean? That's what they use power for. So if somebody sits somewhere and say, the demolition going on in Lagos have no other option, it's a lie. Even if you have all the documents there, they can tell you, well, fine, you have the document, but this is for the public development because of that. And then the problem will now be, okay, will you pay me compensation? Then they will bring somebody from the local government to value your what have you and say, well, the government is broke. We can't really pay you more than this amount. Then you can go back to court again. You may be at that for the next 30 years. And even if the court give you the judgment, the successive government will now say, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. This case was 10 years ago. I will ask my attorney general to look into it. Until maybe you have to just, the whole thing itself, if you don't die, don't have the strength to fight it anymore. That is what the injustice in that place represents. But there is something I want you to know. You are not spared though. If you think this is against the Igbo because of the physical structure being pulled down, there are other non-physical structures that are being pulled down. Family, relationships like business relationship and everything, they are being pulled down every day. And that is them sending the message to say, don't mess with us again in Lagos, where we are doing our election again. Do you get that? Don't try us again. Even if Igbos are like, we don't want voters card, we don't want anything again. When the election pops up, the Igbos will come into it. I mean, they will drag the Igbos into it, drag their names, drag everything into it, and make it all about them, because that is their politics. Their politics is dangerous for Lagos. It's dangerous for Yoruba land. It is dangerous for the regional, group of states in Nigeria. It is dangerous for Nigeria. Yes, it is. And instead of asking everybody to go back to, instead of demolishing their properties, using excuses to do that, yeah? Why don't you just give them the way pass and just say, you know what? We don't want you in our state officially anymore. And we wanted the government of Nigeria to let us have a conversation about if you really want to leave. But they are a bunch of cowards. Cowards. You know why? It is similar to what is going on in the UK and some part of the world right now. The Igbos that came down to that left Igbo land, they entered everywhere with something to offer, service to offer, business, trade, and others. They didn't come down to put gun in our heads and take our lands. No, they didn't. And Yorubas, who knows Igbos very well, we are not jealous of you. A lot of you grew up in Lagos. And I need to say this before I move down to the UK, because that's exactly what is going on in the UK right now too. A lot of you grew up in Lagos. You have childhood friends. We have no reason to be jealous of you. Jealous of what? When we kind of call it healthy competition. Yeah? Where people are trying to, thriving to be the best they can be. And they have been. But you see these charlatans, these jobless pickpockets, freeloaders, these scavengers and scroungers, they exist in Yoruba land. They do. They have access to power in Lagos. They've not even bettered their own lot. So if you say they are jealous, I think you should direct that to those jobless miscreants who are hoping to one day get you attacked, your properties taken and stolen if possible. Well, a lot of you grew up in different parts of Yoruba land, especially Lagos yourself. That wasn't the memory you probably have about the Yorubas. That can't be the memory. Of course, a lot of you who have never even visited Yoruba land. Today, everything you know about the Yorubas were things you were told. a majority of those things you were told were to actually completely appeal to the narrative. Whoever told you that. When you ask the Igbos who grew up in Yoruba land, they will tell you that's not the memory of the Yorubas they know. No. Well, Yorubas also have to admit that these people exist, and they exist beyond the borders of Lagos. There are many of them that wishes that they will have access to power in Osun and replicate the same thing in Osun. Replicate the same thing in Oyo, in Ogun, Ekiti, Ondo, if they have the similar power. But nevertheless, to those of you who have all these memories, and to those of us who are Yorubas who also have these memories of the Igbos we grew up with, you will think all the banters, all the hatred, and all of those slur, messages and darts, they are just for election. It is no longer just about election. In fact, a lot of us have been put on notice that the relationship we actually grew up with other tribes and all of them, that we should do everything to erase them from our mind and begin to wear this one. That's an impression that is totally wrong. And it is time for all of you, Yorubas, who understand the danger that these guys represent. It's not going to just affect the Igbos. No, it's going to affect you directly or indirectly. And it may be too late after you must have supported these shenanigans in the name of preserving the Yoruba. I don't know. Self-preservation starts from economic empowerment. None of this is given to us as Yorubas. We are not better off. We are worse off. Despite the 24 years of being governed by the Yorubas, led by the Yorubas. So if people who have failed decided to use ethnic baiting, xenophobia, and in your mind, now you be the Okogan, be the Evander Holyfield, be Mike Tyson that has to fight tooth and nail to preserve the Yoruba days. You are not preserving the Yoruba, you are promoting the Tifnumbu's political ideology, which is even dangerous to you. I hope you will remember that. Immigration. In the UK, in the last, they said in the last 10 years, they sort of have had what is called the net migration, what have you. And Nigerians, like other countries, have migrated to the UK, like, so much more than what the public facilities could really cater for. And the public here in the UK, they are beginning to, they didn't just begin, it's been a while too, but it's becoming louder now that the failed public service, NHS, and all of these who are struggling, and all of that, inadequate, infrastructure, inadequate housing, and all of that stuff, are now being blamed on the immigrants. The immigrants are those they gave student visa to work visa, settlement visa, family visa. And in the last, in the year ending June 2023, they said that the United Kingdom has brought in over 1.2 million immigrants. Now, you see those ones who are here who are like the indigenous people of Britain. They believe that they have been shortchanged. But before the shortchanging or what have you comes in, politicians in the UK, they started underfunding some major public institutions like the NHS. So when we say underfunding, it simply means the amount of money provided by the government for the running of NHS in the UK is so small that for the past 10 years, NHS has been downsizing and downsizing and downsizing. In fact, so many others are sort of not downsizing per se, but people are kind of leaving. Sure, you get now. People are leaving because of the poor pay, long hours, and all of that. So the politicians in this country saw an opportunity window. Two things in the immigration business. That they could make so much money every year from it. And they could save so much money as well without having to invest anything. So what did they do? They designed a visa scheme, different categories of visa for people to come to the UK. For example, the students who are coming here to school alone, they were bringing in over 25 billion pounds sterling. As at 2020, those who were coming to the UK to school, they were bringing in over 37 billion. And as at June 2023, year end, those who are coming here as immigrants have brought in over 42 billion a year. That's a lot of money. So for the politicians, that's some free money there in the economy. Schools were making so much money, and they were able to finance all of their own researches and pay their own, that everyone was fine in that economy. So when it now comes to the labor force, you see the British who believes that, back in the days when you are working in this country, between the ages of 18 and ages of 25, you possibly would have been able to afford your mortgage. Okay? In a way that, because you have a job, a good paying job, and then you have a very good mortgage offer and all of that stuff that you could afford. And along the line, people were, young people were homeowners at very young age in the past. But these days, due to the economy and the inflation changing here and there, majority of them have now they are now spending their supposed mega pay on survival, forgetting about buying houses. Okay? And all of these are now being blamed on the fact that those in the economy here, starting with the government, they prefer cheap labor. Now, you see the Brits here themselves who wanted to ask for more pay. Everywhere they want more pay that will correspond with the current reality. The businesses will be like, okay, we can't. And if you can't pay us more, then I don't want to work. Okay, don't worry, don't work. There are other cheap labor by the immigrants. They planned that they said they were going to bring 600,000 to the UK. They ended up bringing 1.2 million. Now, this 1.2 million, to an average Brit, they have denied them the bragging right. They have denied them the fighting spirit, the fighting right. Because if they try to fight, the same, you have citizenship, I'll be British citizenship, okay, fine, you are British, fine. But what makes you British other than the fact that you can work anytime you want to? Now, somebody else has this. They have the work permit now. So if you can't take this pay, somebody else is going to take it. So the agency were now, they were now offering all these shifts and all of them to these agents, to these immigrants. So to the Brits themselves, the immigrants are taking all their jobs and they are doing cheap labor. They are forcing them to also take cheap pay. And the politicians who promised that they were going to improve their lives and economy, they have not only ruined it, they have also brought in so much people for the infrastructures like housing, healthcare, and other, even welfare system, infrastructures that are not even adequate, underfunded. You have now brought more people into it. People now wait for months to see their GP. They are actually the talk yet these days, talking about politicians taking advantage, and pretending to want to find a solution other than to create more problems. Abi, then when the problem now starts, they will now pounce on those immigrants. Politicians will now begin to act like there are too many people. We need to cut net migration. They will now start pretending that they are listening to their citizens now. Now then give you visa. You enter UK. You discovered that they are not building new houses. They are not building new hospitals. They are not building any new infrastructure per se to accommodate the new people. They are taking their money, giving them, students are sleeping in libraries because they couldn't secure housing. Meanwhile, they have paid thousands of pounds sterling to these schools. They put them under stringent conditions. You must attend school. If you don't attend school, you have forfeited your visa, your studentship. And once you don't attend school, your visa is also gone. You cannot work anymore. But there were no provisions for them, no real anything. But election is coming. Just like the fascist of Lagos, election is coming in the UK soon. Okay? More people are now on benefits instead of looking for a job. Listen to this one in the UK, because they can't do cheap job, cheap labor, when they have to pay more for the cost of living. Sure, you understand? So they will just be like, okay, I'm not working. I'm just going to go and take benefits. So government will pay for their house, give them some money, and they are fine with that. Now that government is now saying that they are broke now in the UK. So the government is now saying, if you are collecting money because you feel like you cannot work or you are not, even those of you who have a disability, you must begin to look for a job now. We can no longer give you money. So the same government that brought in all of the people without making any provision, right? The same government is now saying, now pretending to be listening to their people. And we will need to cut down immigration. And you know what they're going to do? All of them, we then give visa. They will be looking for one reason, one excuse or the other on how to get you out. Again, they say, you have to work for 20 hours. You must not work more than this hour. You must not do this or that. Now that they have collected all your money, they are now working on, we will probably need to cut this down, or we need to send some people back. Do you see that? The immigrants are the problems. They are the ones who make the NHS not to be working fine anymore. They are the ones who didn't allow the GPs to be available anymore. They are the ones to be blamed for the economic woes of the UK, which indeed is totally wrong, right? So you can now put UK and Lagos, and then put the politicians from both sides, and look at the victims from both sides, and tell me if you can spot any difference per se. And that is why we continue to encourage those of us who still have the opportunity now, that if you are in Lagos, I don't care how long you have been, you need to begin to look homeward. Though. You know what they say? You need to begin to look eastward. You need to begin to look to the east. You need to begin to divest. You see these fascists. You see these xenophobic rogues. As they are dealing with you, they are dealing with everyone they now call tainted blood. Yes, tainted blood, half blood. Imagine you looking at your own daughter and then you see her and you feel like she's a half-blood. What kind of mental problem would you have? What kind of political ideology will enter you that will make you call your own child tainted blood? For criminals that are not building any infrastructure, they are not investing in the same Yoruba people themselves to actually make us feel better, like, oh yeah, we have the best, this, best, that, best, that. Nothing. It is a danger that I believe is also avoidable. And for those who are currently hiding behind those who are championing this, hiding behind it's because I cannot let anybody talk anyhow to Yoruba and this. I hope you will use the same energy, okay, when they have no Igbos to kill anymore. And then they will come over to you. I want to take calls. I want to leave it at that. I want to hear from people too, okay? So it's all up to you. I will be back in a minute or two, and then we'll take calls just before we go tonight. You can still like the broadcast anyway if you're still here with me. And if you are watching from Abule Ado or Abule Ado in Lagos, you can pick up your phone and call in and tell us what happened. If you are, especially if you are one of the victims. I will be back in a minute. Thank you. I have a caller.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir. You might. I don't
Hello.
know why I'm hearing that. Shh. Can you hear that too?
Yes, it's raining.
Oh, is it? Are you in the car?
Hello?
Are you in the car or something?
No, it's raining. It's raining. It's the weather, the rain. It's raining.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Niger State. This is Charles calling from Niger
Charles
State.
from Niger. I think I saw the name earlier, by the way.
Yes.
So thank you. So Charles, we'll manage it, okay? But the echo and all of that is really bad. But yes, please. A quick one. Go on.
Okay. Sorry. Well, I'm trying to talk. I've heard what you said concerning the demolition that is going on. It's quite unfortunate.
Yes.
The job is so compounded that it's so much. As I'm talking to you now, I'm an Igbo man. I live in the north central, precisely in Niger State. So I've been living in the north for over 25 to almost 30 years. So, and due to some of the kind of the way they treat the Igbos in Nigeria now, an Igbo man is a third-class citizen. To tell you the fact, to be honest with you, that's the way I saw it. An Igbo man is a third-class citizen. Even in the north here, can you believe that someone that is from Nigeria more authority, more audacity than an Igbo man.
Somebody from
I've
Niger, is that
experienced
what
it.
you mean?
Yeah, yes, a Nigerian man has more authority, have more recognition in the north than an Igbo man. I've experienced
That
it.
is so true. Yeah, I mean, I've not experienced it,
That,
but I'll believe it.
I'm telling you from my own personal experience. So, but the issue of all these things, sometimes it maybe is because of envy or something. But I keep telling people, Igbo man that you see, most of them are hardworking people.
Yes.
They did not come across this money on the streets and pick it. No, that is not it. They work hard for it. You understand? And likewise, if I'm a Hausa man or Yoruba man, if you work hard, you still make the same money. So that we should not be victimizing ourselves because you are in your town, your village, you so call it your village, and at the end of the day, you say one Nigeria, you are all Nigeria, and you keep treating it everybody someone because he's after you say one Nigeria. I keep telling people, okay, if you go to other Europe or other places where people are civilization, it's only in Nigeria. A Nigerian man from southeast cannot go.
Charles, are you there? I think that's the line. Okay, let me take another one, and I hope. Oh, I think Charles was about coming on back. I'm so sorry, Charles. Okay, the line is really terrible, and I hope you call back. Okay, and you can finish what you're saying. Here is another caller. Hello there.
Hello, my good general.
Prince Jejeman, representing
Baba.
IPOB for life.
For life, Baba.
How are you tonight, Prince?
Baba, I'm fine. No, our Tucano Mike. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You are the voice of the voiceless, Baba. You see, this topic you brought out today is one in a million. You know, that will bring out this kind of topic. Who are not originally from the Igbo tribe or Easterner. Okay, so is kudos to you, honestly, and you really made justice to the matter of what is going on.
Thank you. Yes.
To us in Nigeria. It's quite unfortunate, but all things works for good. For those who believe in God, that is what the word of God said. I want to use this opportunity as I'm thanking you. I'm thanking also Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, he also said this 2 years ago. He made this in a broadcast. He was saying it as a prophecy. He said, no, look, let me tell you, what I'm telling you is science. Science is all about facts. You know, he told them that, look, based on what is on ground, they are going to destroy your businesses in Lagos, and they are going to destroy your houses. He said it even went to Italy or so to make a video. The Merchant of Venice. He was telling the Igbos about how the Jews went there and developed in Europe. They are the richest. But at the time, all that mansion that worth billions of dollars, they have to leave it and go. They drive them away, and the houses, everything we are seized. You get what I'm saying? So he said all these things, and now it's playing out. The houses, and they destroy our houses, they destroy our businesses. The one they cannot destroy, they go to market, they set our market ablaze. You know, I don't know if they cannot. That one they are not satisfied. They kill most of us. And during the election, many Igbos were killed in Lagos. Nobody, no court, nothing, no government is talking about it. You know, and we are in a country called Nigeria. You know, our crime is because we are called we are Igbos. You know, but I tell you, my good general, as it is going, I believe that our people, they will not be putting all their egg in one basket anymore.
I hope
Because
so.
we have tried all our best, because we now in the culture, people think that Igbo are foolish when they go to a place they develop. No, in our culture, we have it that what by adage saying that whatever you find yourself, that is your home.
Mm.
You know, that's why anywhere we go, we add value, we develop there, because we see there that that is where you are feeding from.
Mm.
So you add value. Is in our culture, is in our DNA. Not that we are foolish, because the Nigerians, they may think that after the war, Igbo they started going everywhere, start developing. No, it's not that because we are foolish. You know, it's in our DNA to develop anywhere we go, because we see that we favor with that place, we eat from there. You understand? So that is how we are by nature. You know, that's why we believe that if Biafra come today, on day a year, Dubai will not be compared to Biafra land. We strongly believe that, you know. So,
Thank you,
Maiyegun,
Prince.
thank you so much. Another thing I want to address is this. There's with this one of our sister on this platform. The other day, he was saying that she was saying that a minister applauds her at the airport because she's attacking those who are speaking bad about Nigeria.
Mm.
The other day, she also said that her mother also was one of the among the Red Cross. So she did not experience the kwashiorkor as that, the way we experience it. I don't think she experienced it that way, because I don't know if she knows that we lost over 10 million. Nigeria says 5 million. We lost over 10 million people that were massacred in that genocidal war. It wasn't a war, because it was only fought in the eastern part of Nigeria. Other Nigeria were going to school, doing their businesses. So it's a genocide against the Biafrans. You get what I'm saying? So for she to come to and tell people how to cry when they are being beaten in Nigeria of today, under a day, from fuel of 80 naira, it went to 600 to 700 under a day, and you are telling somebody how to cry, how to describe Nigeria, you know.
Thank
So
you, Prince.
that is not she I think she's wrong in that aspect. I
Thank you.
respect her opinions, but that very point, no, completely disagree. Nigeria is a zoo, is a vampire entity. Nigeria is a country of scammers and also irreparable damages.
Thank
You
you,
know,
Prince.
let her know that we are
Let me
not
take
happy with
another
that
one.
very
Yeah.
point.
Thank you
Thank
very
you. God
much.
bless you, my
And
ego.
you too,
Thank
Prince
you so
Jejema.
much.
Thank you, and take it easy, okay? So here, hang on. I think I just mixed that up there. So thank you so Prince Jejema. The hang on, let me see if I can get this. Okay, I think I got it. One sec. Let's see, I hope so. Hello there. Can you hear me? Sorry. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
How you doing tonight? I mean, well, this afternoon I would
I'm
say.
doing
Is that
I'm doing
CA,
great.
yeah?
Yeah, that's Zeus.
Oh, it's Zeus. How did I mix that up? How you doing? It's been a while.
I'm doing great.
Great,
I
man.
went to do my colonoscopy. They say that my age right now
Right?
that I have to go do my colonoscopy, so I just went and did it.
And how was that,
So
sir?
that
How was it?
they induced me, then they put a camera and they're gonna watch to see if there's any polyps inside.
Right.
So
Have they done that
that's
already,
why.
or you just about to?
No, I've done it. I did it last week, so I'm just trying to get myself back. That's why you've not heard from me for a minute.
Oh, bless you, man. Get well soon.
Okay,
Okay. Please, Zeus, go on.
okay. Let me go ahead.
Yes, please.
What I want to say here is, Nigerians, they have to start thinking deep. These politicians, just like why I started with the healthcare issue, is that the Europeans and Americans have 20 years gap on us when it comes to life expectancy. Nigeria is like 57 for the male and 58 for the female. In America here, it's 77 and 78. And if you look at it, the 20 years is a big gap. The politicians that are telling people to do all these things, they have another, they've already secured their own life expectancy. Nigerians should think about that. These people have access to hospitals in Europe. While you are in Nigeria talking about tribalism and dancing to their tunes with your short life expectancy. This year alone, I've buried 2 of my uncles. They did not even make it up to the Biden or the Trump's age. Our life expectancy is keep cutting short. They're not building anything for us. They're not creating no jobs. They keep borrowing and borrowing. Let me just take us back to a little bit. If you go to United States, for example, in 1977, United States used to have a yacht they called the Sakuan. The president of United States then, they were going through financial hardship. He decided to sell it. That's Jimmy Carter. He sold that Sakuan, the USS Sakuan. Since then till now, United States government, nobody will approve a yacht for a United States government, a presidency anymore. I'm talking about a $33 trillion economy. You go to Canada, the Canada government house, where the president is supposed to live. They brought it up to the Senate that they wanted to be refurbished. The Canadian house said no, that the economy now is not good for them to start refurbishing a president house. And till now, the Canada president goes to his work from his own house. I'm talking about economies that Nigerians are begging to go to.
That would do
but in our Senate, yes, in our Senate, anything that they bring, Akpabio signs. And we are talking, and let me even take it back to Africa. In Zimbabwe, the current president, they said he should buy new SUVs and cars for his senators and all that. He said no, that rather than spend that money on buying new cars and everything, that he will use that money to see how he can build on the economy. I'm talking about Africa here. These people don't have any regard for us. All these people dancing and clapping for them for destruction of another Nigerian house that have worked so hard to build something. So you're telling me now that Igbos can actually go to United States and buy a house, go to Canada, buy a house, go to Ghana, buy a house, go to South Africa, buy a house, and it's more secured than actually the one Nigerian country where they live in as a nation.
Sadly so.
Where is our conscience? Where is our conscience as a people? Maiyegun, that's all I want to say today, but I'm just saying that I thank God that I'm in the United States where they come to get their healthcare, where they can put camera and check and see if I have anything inside me and secure my life and I keep going. And everybody in Nigeria should start thinking really deep about that 20 years gap of life expectancy that this government, this system is denying them of. Thank you so much, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate it too, man. You take it easy, okay, and get well soon too, bro. So I have another caller on the line here. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Uncle Maiyegun, Beatrice.
Hey, my lady, our lady Beatrice. Somebody just spoke about you not long ago, Prince Jejeman.
Oh, I didn't really. I just got
you know. Okay, I mean,
a man who talked about Kwashoko. Probably he didn't understand what I was talking about, but it's okay.
Right. So you rather move on and get on with this, right? So we are here again, ma'am. Did you watch this from the start?
Yes, somehow I
almost
did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that means I just want to be sure that you didn't miss so much from it. And
yeah, it did. I think you were like 6 or 8 minutes before
before you came. Oh, then you didn't miss anything, ma'am. Please go on.
So the demolition of houses really touched me. It touched my heart. I almost switched off because I couldn't keep watching. I couldn't keep watching what I saw. But I read before a story where Tinubu said in the past he had no interest in one Nigeria.
Yes, And that was 1998.
Yes.
Anyway.
He didn't change his opinion because he got older. Are you getting me? He didn't change his opinion with all what he has gone through in life, which is almost everything negative. He does not have that positive spirit. If he does not, if you are not with,
it's an ideology
yeah,
that is, people might ignore, but it's deeper. He never changed it. You are right.
It's like, if you are not with me, you are against me.
You are against me, exactly.
You are against me. You know, and he forgot that even he, where he is now, he's not supposed to be there. And if he thinks that the only way he will succeed is by destroying what has been built years before him, he's making a great mistake. I don't care about those who are clapping for him. They are clapping for their idiosyncrasy. Because I mean, you don't know. And it's like this story now, I don't know anything, and I jump in, I start talking nonsense. You know, we talk about racism. I just discussed racism with somebody who called me this evening about how she was treated and so on. And I told her that I wrote a little piece about racism. And I said that what I know about racism is a problem of illiteracy.
It's mostly, yes, cowards. People who believe that, you know, they are superior than you. And when you ask them to show it, they don't have anything to show. They just want you to believe that they are. Yeah, I am, and all of that. And it's an act of cowardice, by the way, if you ask me.
It's a problem of cowardice, and it's another problem of fear.
As well,
fear. The fear of what had been done. When are those people going to push back? Nobody is pushing back at anybody. It's in the Bible. The sinner runneth when no one pursueth. If you Google it, you will see it. The sinner runneth when no one pursueth. No, you have committed certain things, and you want the whole Nigeria to swallow it. There was a time when nobody wanted to relate with anybody known as a criminal. There was a time you can't even see your own child moving on the street with a ruffian, with what you can call what you call what you can call area boys. Area boys. You cannot see your own child walking together. Or I had to personally go to a family in Lagos. Please, I didn't come here to downgrade your son. But if you see my son around your son, whatever you can do to him, and if I see your son near my son, whatever I can, I will do to him. I just don't want your son near my son.
I want their friendship.
I don't want their friendship. The father in that household, if he watches your program, he might remember. He said, wow, you are a mother in 1,000. I said, please, I'm a single mother and I'm doing my best to raise these children. I don't want your son near my own son. So what I'm trying to pull out is there was a time we are not happy when people are doing bad things. Are you getting me?
I'm with you, ma'am.
So in my language, they used to say, I won't say it in my language, I better say it in English.
You should say it in the language and say it in English. So it does help that way. I encourage it.
It's not only one person raises children. Children belongs to Oha. People, many people. So if you
is that similar to when they say it takes a village to raise a child?
Exactly. It's like you say chicken, rubbing poo-poo on the street and scratching it. They said, chase it away. Because you don't know whether you are going to be the one to buy that chicken tomorrow. So you don't agree. You
don't see bad thing and look away because it doesn't concern you or so.
The way these people are going, there is then no need of having police on the road.
Almost.
Let them make Nigeria to be a crime-free thing. Because crime is what is going on in Aso Rock. And they're doing it like, if you have power, come
and now,
say
what would you do? We have done it. We have done it. What can you do?
The fact that, what is the name of the governor of Lagos State?
Sanwo-Olu.
Sanwo-Olu. He's working as per orders. He's obeying orders.
You know what Tunde Bakari said? Even though that one is a lousy charlatan, by the way, but his message, he said he met with Tinubu and he was lamenting about the Igbos.
Yeah.
Like, they are my problem, they are this or that. I mean, you know, everywhere I've allowed them to have this, allowed them to have that, but they will never. I mean, they always go against me. I was like, which of them is going against you? And what do you mean by you allowed them? Like, they came here, they invested, they didn't put gun in anybody's head. And it was like, but yeah, they didn't put gun in anybody's head, but we don't want them anymore. So we're going to demolish all their properties. And I was like, why? You understand that now? He's a pastor, so I believe him that he said it.
Yes. And then I did a little research in those days concerning Lagos State, the landlords and their tenants. Do you know that an average Yoruba landlord will not put in a Yoruba person in his house because they won't pay him rent?
At least I had an old man who has the same mentality too.
Yes,
now the Igbo people, they pay pass. My old man would tell me.
Yes.
He said, now the Igbo people, I prefer Igbo tenants. Even though, I don't know, they said, even though they are, it will say, even though they can be very stubborn, but they never misses their pay. And
they pay their rent.
I go along well with them. That's my old man, my old man's house in Ketu.
Yes. Yes. You see, so they will say, landlord all this nonsense language. But the Igbo man would try to pay his rent, even if they have to eat bread and wagon. Even if they have to eat bread and a wagon to continue till another month, so long as their landlord is paid. So all this attitude against the Igbos, it's not that Igbos have nowhere to go. Igbos have gone before and they survived. And they are still surviving everywhere they are. It's only that some Igbos need to change their characters, their thinking habit. They have to think before establishment, before establishing. It's probably better for them to rent and live in Lagos than to build anything in Lagos.
At least. They thought they were saving money too. Instead of spending so much money on rent, why not own a property? And they did.
Yeah, but you can manage. Let me tell you, my dear brother, you can rent a 2-3 bedroom apartment and pay your rent than to build a mansion that will cost you millions.
And your health.
And your health. So you have to, because the thing they are doing to, when Igbo goes back home, in fact, if you go to Aba, Aba is Nigeria's little China.
I know.
Aba is Nigeria's little China. They are not begging for food.
You know?
They are very comfortable in Aba. Anything you bring into Nigeria, they make a copy of it immediately.
So why not? What is making people who have this money to be so deaf that you and I will be saying this again, maybe in another 2-3 years again, and you'll be asking, are there still people? Well, they're still there.
The only thing we have to agree upon now is the natural resources. If they cannot accept that Igbos must go, but please, if your name is Yoruba or your name is whichever part of Nigeria that are against Igbos, you don't come to Igbo land to suck their natural resources.
So you leave them and leave them their resources.
Leave them with everything alone. Because I don't want to go too deep into they think I am the other one.
I know the feeling. You know what, Ma? Thank you so much. Let me take another call.
We need to define that. Thank you so much.
We will. Stay safe, ma'am, okay? That's our lady there, Beatrice, my lady Beatrice. So I think I have another caller. And I hope that's a Charles or not. Hello there.
Hello. Maiyegun.
Sir or ma'am.
Okay, sir.
It is, yeah, okay. How are you tonight? I kind of tried to, get that. Who am I speaking to?
Okay.
Please?
Okay, my name is Austin.
Austin.
No, we are the ancestor of this your program from 2010 when you are staying in the kitchen. From 2012.
God bless you, Baba.
So,
Austin.
my brother, against the issue of house demolition in Lagos, if I must say, another way around, I still blame my people. I know everybody want to, like one guy, gentleman that called to say, in our adage, they said, anywhere you are, anywhere you live is your home. That is who we are. I understand, but sometimes you need to think another way around. When they build trade fair, Ojukwu came to trade fair and say, they call Ojukwu as the guest of, They invited Ojukwu as the guest of honor. When they called there, that's one we used to our language say Ibimumu. So Ojukwu called them the Ibimumu. Today, Lagos state government, that trade fair, the land gifted by them is a federal land, it's a military land gifted by Jakonde.
Yes.
Now, Jakonde ruled Lagos only 4 years, but he built house in everywhere, every part of the Lagos. But sometimes I'm being so disappointed, and some of our Yoruba brother who claim to be intellectual and see the system of leadership of Jakonde in Lagos and the leadership of Tinubu in Lagos getting to 30 years since 1990 up to date. Tinubu have put Lagos in a cage, trying to suppress everybody. Because this thing he's doing, even if he try in all he can as a president to chase Igbos away, they will still have that fight. You're from Ogun. You're not from Lagos.
We'll come back to who is not Lagos, who should be, or who is not Lagos enough, or who is Yoruba, who is not Yoruba enough.
Yes. So we know all those games, but I just try to tell my brothers that we need to think. I know it's not that easy because Nigerian system of government is that even if you do in that Aba you claim, they will still come there and suppress you one way or the other. You know that? So the only way, I know it's not that easy. Freedom don't give. The only solution for everybody to be free in Nigeria is let us go in our separate ways.
At least.
I know it's not gonna be that easy, but I'm still obliged Nigerian citizens to stand up, the youth, to stand up because they demolish the house of Igbo in Lagos. But even if you Yoruba, you have no benefit. You will still go and buy fuel 1,000 per liter. You still buy a bag of rice 60,000 per bag. So the situation is still affecting me and you. Even though they try everything they do to suppress me as an Igbo man in Lagos, but we still, you as a Yoruba man that have Lagos, still paying that the same price I'm paying.
No special treatment.
If you go
no nothing to say I'm different.
Yes. Okay, now, if you go to Agor, what made them, they did not demolish that first part because of, it's built by federal government during Obasanjo 1976. That's why they never demolished there. Because I know in a civilized society, it's government used to build house. But since I was born in Nigeria, I never see any government since 1999, even federal and the state, build a house. But Jakonde build thousands of apartments in Lagos, all the corners of Lagos State.
And
under 4 years.
They are affordable housing, for people of average income all over the place.
I just don't know the way our people, the intellectuals, behave, because this man is doing now. He is trying to bring his son. After he died, his son will still take over because it's a Mafian game. On your yesterday program, there's one comment one guy made that he's disappointed in Peter Obi after the election. Not supposed to go court. He need to gather the evidence. They go for protest. I call him, but he did not pick. I say, if Peter Obi try that thing, all these mafias, all these bandit leaders, they will turn it because of Igbo man has lose the election. He want to start another civil war. I know these people. That is their game. You know. So nobody should blame Peter Obi for not going into that violence way. Because if he try to go into that violence way, because obedience is all about Nigerian youth. But they will turn that obedience into Igbo affair. Yes. So Peter Obi had known them already. That's why he don't want to do it in a way we cost people life. Because when a mafian take over a leadership of a country, he must surely behave like a mafian. So it's better for our Yoruba brother to stand up about Turubu. It's better for us because.
Thank you so much, Austin. Let me take another one. It's such a pleasure hearing from you too. Okay, that's Austin there. I've been there from Lagos. Hello there.
Hello, please say love of God is my strength.
So, ma'am, you know, Our Lady Love of God. There is another name. It's Joy. Is it Joy or Joyce?
Yeah, Joyce is my other name.
I remember that. I remember you very well. How are you today, ma'am?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. I didn't watch your video from beginning, but I know you are talking about the building that's been broken in Lagos State, demolition yes. Yeah, now you see, I want to urge my Igbo brothers, and I want them to listen to me with the heart of gold, with the heart of love, and with the heart of listening and understanding what I want to say. I'm not quarreling, I'm not arguing, and I don't want to apportion anything. What they are doing to everyone that they demolish their house is wrong. It's not right. But I want them to know one thing. I'm from Delta State. If we are talking about the Igbos, please, I want us to look at it that it's not only the Igbos from the East. The Yoruba man, the Hausa man, does not know the difference between Delta State and East. They qualify all of us as Igbo, Yomiri, Amokuta, Adekutama, Momi. That's what they call us. They don't know the difference. And as I said in Nigeria, what I saw a sister from my place is our own house too was broken. Our own house too was demolished. So it's not, I want people to know, it's not only them. We are all suffering in Nigeria. We are all going through a lot of things in Nigeria. And it is affecting a lot of us. So it is not, I know that the Eastern Igbos, they have been really dealt with so badly in Nigeria with all the war that they have gone through and everything. I know, but I want them to know that when they are talking, they should not even talk alone about them. Every tribe in Nigeria is going through the same thing. Even the Yoruba people that you see, they are complaining that Tinubu is not giving them position. It's giving only the people in Lagos position. They too are complaining. Nigeria, everybody is complaining. Even to the north, there are some people in the north who cannot even eat. They carry plates in the morning and in the afternoon begging Babi Allah. We are all suffering. We are all crying our tears, our eyes out. The way Nigeria is. Tinubu is not a one Nigerian man. No. He said it long ago that Nigeria cannot stand as one, and he's showing it in his selection. He's showing it in his policies. He's showing it in his ministerial position. As we are talking now, all the position in Nigeria is taken over by Yoruba people. But if we look at it in a way, do we blame him? Buhari did more worse than him. Buhari did more worse than him when he was in office. So I think Tinubu is not trying to repatriate what to do the same thing that Buhari did. So what me I'm looking at is there's a plan. They want to finish Nigeria, finish the resources of the south and the southeast, so that they can go now and take their own country. And we will now be people who don't have any resources. So my brothers and sisters, the Igbos, I'm calling you people, let us stand together. Stand together with the South people. We are together. Even Yoruba people are together with us. Some are suffering. You can see all of them coming and they can't even buy their elders. So everybody's going through this problem. They are demolishing houses. Are they supposed to do it? Is it now that Tinubu came in? Haven't you seen a video that the vice president did with one of your state governors? They were talking about what they would do to the Igbos when anybody, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
The video. I mean, I was one of those who played it first. Anyway, yeah, I remember.
Thank you. Yeah, we have it. Shatima said it. What they are going to do, and what I think they are planning is what happened to them in Lagos State in during the election shocked them. They are really angry about it. It is not only the Igbos who voted for Mr. Obi
everyone
in
after
Lagos
already.
State.
They said
Everybody starts.
everybody here is considered as
Yes.
Igbo.
Yes, everybody is tired. Everybody's tired of what is happening in Nigeria. So everyone gave it all in Lagos State to remove Tinubu because Tinubu is taxing them, disturbing the bus drivers and everything. Nigerians are tired. Every one of us, we are tired. We are just asking that let us stand in unity. I cannot see my Igbo brothers and not stand for them. I love them. They are very good people. So what I just want them to know, when they are talking, they should think about us in the South, which we are suffering. Look at all the political position. We are the only gave it to Wike. Wike is a greedy man. They only gave it to what's his name? Festus Akamu. Festus, I call him Akamu. Yes, Festus Akamu. That's his name. That's what one of my sisters call him.
Okay, I'm here, but yeah, fraud.
Yes, yeah. Yes. So I think why did they give it to him? Because he's one of them. He's part of the one destroying Nigeria. So please, let us come together. Let us stand together. I'm telling you, some Yoruba people are ready. They don't want this man dead. They are very educated. Their eyes are open. They don't want this Tinubu dead. Nadeko has stand up now that they want to do everything to remove him before 2027. And I'm very sure if we come together, a house that is divided cannot stand. Let us stand together and let us do this thing. Let us stop dividing ourselves by tribe, by religion, by ethnic group. Please let us stop it. Let us come together. Yes, our brothers and sisters are crying from the east, but I've seen somebody who our property is broken, was destroyed also. So please, let us come together. I love everyone here, and we can make it. We can make it work. It's only love that knows no boundary. Only love that cannot divide us. And God will help us. Thank you, Mr.
Safe, yes, ma'am. Mr. Safe. I like the passion, by the way. You know, and I bet a lot of you sitting there right now are like, oh my, yeah, you felt it, didn't you?
Hello, Maiyegun.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Maiyegun. I'm okay. It's Austin from Germany.
How are you today, Austin? It's good to hear from you again.
I'm very happy to get you again today.
Thank you for trying.
I had my namesake call before.
Did you hear that,
I was
Austin,
saying, hey, who's
right?
Yeah. I say, who is answering this Austin again?
Somebody from Lagos.
Anyway, Maiyegun, I really appreciate your job. You are doing a very marvelous and great job. I say, may God replenish you. You're a good guy. Honestly.
Thanks a lot.
Let me be honest. Let me be honest with you. I was discussing with my wife. I was telling my wife, maybe Maiyegun is an Igbo guy. She said, do you think like that? I said, we are honestly, we are just joking. You know why I'm saying this? Because in Nigeria, the situation of Nigeria, for one to be honest in Nigeria is very difficult.
It's
very, very difficult.
Too.
It's also very dangerous, yeah. So for your honesty, I really appreciate your honesty and I encourage you more because since I've known you, since I've been following you, you have been consistent. Even instead of you to backslide, you are going stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger.
Thanks.
So what I want to point out this evening is that my sister that just called now said Igbo should not be complaining alone, that's everybody. So I want to ask, I disagree with her own opinion, what she said. People are complaining about what happened to them. You say it's happening to every Nigerian. No, that's not the issue. We are talking about the house that is demolished. Their house is demolished. They lose their properties. And you're telling them that they shouldn't be complaining that because it affected everybody. There are Yorubas, there are...
She said they're not
everyone complain your own.
Like they should.
Yeah.
I get your angle.
Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah. Let everyone complain their own. If she said she's Delta, she's from, let everyone specifically talk about their own. So that is number 1 point. Number 2 point is that I am so much happy about the demolition. I am honest to you. I don't hide my feelings. I am telling you, I don't hide my feelings. You know why? You know why? It is not today that it has been happening. For a very long time. Nigerian issue with an Igbo man Nigerian issue with an Igbo man is like, I can't, I am thinking that Mumu Asare Dakuba is talking about, I think some Igbos are that Mumu that he's talking about. I'm telling you honestly. Because I don't see the reason why you would do something every year or every election, you get the same consequences. And you are still doing it. Before it was in the north. Now, not have you reduced now, it's now in the in Lagos. Every time, yeah. Before it was in the north, no more in the north again. Now it has transferred to Lagos. And after Lagos, then another northerner will take over power again, and we start doing the same thing again. Demolition the ones in it. And we don't have sense. How can look at the guy that was complaining that he was one of the landlord that his house was demolished. He said, just listen to him.
Gone down the drain. Did you see the
yeah. And you know what he said? He said, if they want him to pay, he can pay to reclaim the land.
Willing to pay again.
To pay to reclaim the land. Do you see how somebody is thinking? Is reasoning like animal? Well, and he wanted to pity him.
He said, I'm confused right now. And I have to be honest, my wife is in the hospital. Maybe he's just confused.
My brother. I am living in Germany.
That's right.
For 14 years now. I built my house in Nigeria. I built my house in my place. I bought my properties in my own place. And if I have opportunity to do it here, I will also do it here, because here they are really nice. They don't look at what you have. But in Nigeria, that shows you that you are not part of them. Nigeria is telling you every day, you are not part of us, and you are forcing yourself on them. Every day. Why don't you go and develop your place? You know what I'm praying? I'm even asking if it will touch all these, what did you call them? Obi Kubana, Chief Priest, Rude Boy, all of them. If it will touch them, I will be so much happy. I am telling you. Now they cannot have said this. Do you know one of the biggest challenges we are having in our struggle, in this struggle of Biafra, is people in Lagos, people in northern side. People in Lagos, people in northern side. Do you remember in 2000, I don't know, I think 3-4 years ago, Shetima now met an Igbo guy that had filling station in Borno.
I remember.
And Shetima was asking him
19 elections.
Exactly.
And he used him
Shetima was asking,
for his campaign optics and all of that.
Right. Yeah. Do you know that guy is no more? That Boko Haram killed that guy.
I heard it. They killed him the following year. Same year.
Yeah.
That's in 2019. He was killed.
The same year. Boko Haram killed him.
His filling station was attacked.
We don't.
And this is a guy that has been there for over 20 years. He speaks Hausa fluently. He speaks other local languages fluently.
Yeah, fluently.
Yeah,
fluently. So our people doesn't learn. Our people always castigate themselves. They are not proud of themselves. Instead of them to go and develop your, what is problem? What is the problem if you develop your place? What will be the problem?
Austin,
we are living in diaspora.
One want to go and also, okay, to make something.
Yeah.
That's different. Now you've made it. This is it. Your success in your hand. Or you are afraid to take that back to the east. I still don't get why. I don't understand.
That is what I'm saying. If they are killing them, everything. If they kill them, I will be so much happy. Let them go back and develop their place. We are in diaspora. We make our money here. We go back. We are the ones developing Igbo land, and they are in Lagos. How can somebody build
mansions? I heard.
Yeah. How can you be in Lagos buying land? I know someone that bought land for 30 million, swamp for 30 million, swamp for 30 million. We don't have swamp in Igbo land. We don't have swamp in Igbo land, and you are buying swamp to pay 30 million, then to come and refill it with 100 million or 50 million and start building house. And the house will be like 200, 300, 400 million. And I used to, Dan, how do they reason? I don't even know how they sleep. I don't even know. Tomorrow we'll come in your own show. We will talk about a different place. It will not be the same place.
Rich people crying on the street because they've demolished all
the same thing. They are stupid. Let them demolish more. I think that is my take.
Kind of harsh, but I understand where you're coming from. Do you get that? Like, when you see somebody,
Maiyegun.
Yeah, awesome.
Maiyegun, there is nothing that comes easy in life. Everything must take sacrifices.
That's right.
Everything there must be sacrifice. We are fighting for freedom. And the funny part of it is that me and you know, and even them know that Nigeria will disintegrate. They know fight all right. They know Nigeria is not working, but they are savaging it. They are just helping to say Nigeria will work. Nigeria will work. Why are you believing in your own delusion?
We believe in Nigeria. Look, we have our money here. We are not moving away. See, trust us. It's like people who have been denied love. You get that? Like, I mean, these people act like they have been denied love, right? And they wanted to be loved so much.
Exactly.
Like them.
Do you know before the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu?
Yes.
Some groups in northern side say they are the Igbos in northern side. They disagree with IPOB. They are not supporting what IPOB is doing. IPOB is a terrorist group. People in northern side, and somebody is fighting for your own good. Somebody is fighting for your own good. And you are telling me for me to pity them?
To be saved, right? By people who actually
to be saved because they wanted to be saved. Do you know an Ebini man was illustrating how civil war started in Nigeria, how they started killing Igbos in the northern side. Do you know they have been killing Igbos since 1945, not today.
Record, Austin, I do.
And the Igbo man is still fighting to be a Nigerian. Let them demolish them. If it is harsh, let it be harsh.
You have a point there. You do have a point, Austin. But I'm still going to say it's a tough one. It's still very harsh. Austin, you're there. Now, I think I have lost Austin for some reason, and I suspect he is driving or is somewhere that the network is probably fluctuating. So I have another caller. Yeah. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, ma. Do you mind muting that broadcast? You have been connected already, or you go to the next room if that's possible.
Okay. I'm surprised I got through.
Oh, you should.
Very
you are
surprised.
trying to get through unexpectedly. You're either through or not. So here you are, ma'am. You are in.
Oh, that's very good. Maiyegun.
Ma'am.
Okay. Your voice doesn't sound actually same.
Oh, well, okay. You've listened to much of the voice on the screen, right? But this is me and you now speaking on the phone. It's a different voice.
Great. I'm surprised. This is my first time of calling. But the reason I'm a Nigerian, the reason I'm calling, I know some people there. I live quite long I live in Europe, but very long, almost 40 years I live here, and I know what goes on in Nigeria very well. You see, I tell you, I know some people are not going to like what I'm going to say. I am Delta Igbo. The demolition of those houses, please don't always look at it as a tribal something. Don't always. All live. Yes, we all live here in Europe. I know personally. I've had my business for more than 20 years. You cannot break a window without a government approval. Never. You cannot put one block without a government approval.
That's right.
And I tell you this again, before I left Nigeria in the 80s, when 1 naira was higher than $1, this is where I left Nigeria. I grew up around Obafemi Awolowo and Allen Avenue. I used to live off Allen Avenue, and I can tell you, when I go to Nigeria today, I'm very pissed off when I see what happened to Nigeria. Shops everywhere. The street I grew up, you have no space to drive through. Everywhere is full of shop. I'm an Igbo woman. If I am in the position, I will demolish every shop in Nigeria there. Every shop has to have a community or whatever you people call there, a shopping mall. That's where they belong. You don't belong in every corner. I'm an Igbo woman telling you this. If you want me to speak Igbo, I will speak an Igbo, you know.
So, go on.
Okay. Okay. So, you see, I never thought I would call. I've had people talking, you know. It's painful. It's very, very, very painful that you spend all your life trying to build a home and it's broken down. But for God's sake, it's not just about buying a land and the next day you're putting up a building. Go through the process. Go through the process. Everything has a process. I had to break a building here in Switzerland. Not a building, just a room to make a shop. It took me 4 months to get approval just to break a shop room, to make two small rooms into one room. You need approval for everything here. So why do we do difference in Nigeria? Because we don't follow the law and everybody do how they want. I'm sorry, my dear Igbo people. The next thing is to start breaking all the whole shops. I want to walk through a clean street, not every corner full of shops.
Like, I get it.
Everywhere. It pisses me off.
I know. Can I say something?
Sorry,
can
you
say
can
something
say.
So that you can put that into your you can put that into your presentation too. Okay. You have seen, you see all those eyesore, or what do we call them? They are like eyesore where you have shops here.
It is an eyesore. You said it right.
To work and all of that.
Yeah.
This one is a different ball game. Okay. We are talking about people who have no issue, right, with their building this or that. Do you get that now? So initially, okay, it all started from some people like the one you said you would do, break all the shops out of the road if they are blocking the way, right? So they figured out that some people built so close to the road and they were marked for demolition, right? There was no court case that they've built illegally or what have you. It was just like, you know, they just had to go because they have no CFO. And you guess what? Some of them have already submitted for CFO in that same governor's office, right? For years. Now they are being punished that their CFO hasn't been signed without compensation. That's the bone of contention here, ma'am. Are you there?
Yes, I'm listening, yeah.
You know, it's so different. That one you wanted to do, of course, should be done for master town planning and all that. Approval for your building, this or that. But you'll be wondering, how did they build the house when the CFO and all of that has not been issued? Exactly. Who approved the power? Who approved the building plan? Right? Who went there to mark the houses and number the houses? These are like regular street, where people are already existing. You get that? They already have the government numbers attached, which means from the government itself, right? They've been approved. And that is why that's why I didn't miss that part to say some of them don't have the CFO. And not having a CFO means your land could be taken anyway. But could that be politically motivated that you submitted for your CFO? They gave you building approval. You've been living in your building, but your CFO has not been approved. Could that have some political kind of undertone for a day like this? That's what we're trying to figure out too. You know what I mean? But,
okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't want you to mix them together like everyone was just like doing this, you know.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
You can't call it, you can't call it whatever is a kind of a political motivated
like there's a room to suspect, there's a suspicion room there, like space for
it. You can, but probably it's been there for a while, maybe even before Tinubu. I'm not a fan of Tinubu, God forbid, but okay, probably it's been there for a while, but they just took the action now.
It's now you being punished for it. Like you know what? Like you have done all you have to do as a citizen, right? You've bought a land, you've paid, you've got the document, you've submitted everything to the government for them to issue a certificate that makes the land completely yours, right? You've done all of that. And the government says, continue building. When the governor signs it, you come and get it when it is ready. Year 1, year 2, 5 years, 10 years, and then you wake up one morning, they are bulldozing your house because you have no documents. You are being punished for something you were never given.
But it's correct. Sorry, don't think like that. We all run out. We all run out of Nigeria and go to where it's called, so we call civilized world. You can't even try it here. No. You can't even raise a block of a house without having all the proper documentation. In Nigeria, we do how we want. How we want, you buy a land, I had a man saying he does, sorry, excuse me, I don't know what it's called. I had a man saying he doesn't have the FH something or something like that, which is a number given to them that you write in front of your, he doesn't have it, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You can't try it here. You cannot do it here. So why do we do it
without approval? It's not possible.
You can't. You can't.
But they're punished for government, negligence. Don't you think that is extreme?
No, maybe
my own point is this, by the way, ma'am, right? I'm thinking that if a situation like this even now happens, right? Even here in Europe, okay, they will not suddenly say they want to demolish 700 houses in a space.
They will.
They allowed to.
They will give you a fine that you cannot pay, and you will lose your house.
You get that?
You see,
you can develop another way of trying to okay, this is massive. We can't throw this.
They will, because it's a fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a fine. And if you don't pay the fine, they seize your house.
And you can lose your house. And then you've given them options. And then this time around, you protect them and make sure that any government coming later will not do the same thing to them. Any documentation that needed to be perfected, you do it for them instead of going for the demolition. That has now created and given rooms to conspiracy thoughts.
Yes, it always will be I'm an Igbo woman. Yes, it will always be a conspiracy thought. Always. But it's not always. And did you also know in those demolitions, you also have Yoruba houses demolished there? Did you know that?
Well, we haven't.
Did you know that?
Much, not yet.
Of course. Okay, you don't have it much because people, they build houses like they're putting on sand on top of everywhere, Yoruba houses are also demolished.
Maybe not. What happened is that we are talking about the mostly affected, and on this program, people have even come to say, Maiyegun, don't even think that just because they said they are demolishing houses and everything is that of the Igbos. I've been told that here, right? We have seen people who are not Igbos themselves who have lost their properties there too.
Yes, but you have more Igbos. You have more Igbos.
Which kind of raised the alarm. Yeah, go on.
Yes, I just believe, I'm sorry anybody there, but I just believe, I don't want to only put it as a political motivated issue or tribal issue. I want to say, because there's a man there, they did not destroy his house. His house was still standing between all those ruins of destroyed buildings because he got this number there. You see it, maybe these people just want to take action now, and for God's sake, maybe they're trying to town plan or whatever, and those houses were blocking the canal or blocking pipe or blocking whatever. I don't know.
But they are not even using that now. They are not even saying they are blocking anything. You get that? They're just saying that number one, they don't have the right documents. You get that? So that's why some of them are now saying, okay, if it's about documents or not, right? If we have to pay, why don't you give us that option? Okay. Like,
where will they pay? Where will they pay after the building is done? Why?
I know. Like they will be paying for it now, Abby.
You see, when you live,
not the government actually really failed to do their job for years.
Yeah, when you live here, you learn to be strict with everything because you just can't do anyhow. I'm sorry, by people there, it's very pitiful, very, very, very pitiful. But Jesus Christ, these people do how they want and how they feel.
Everyone
buy a land and start building.
Right. I get your point.
They should do it right for God's sake.
I do get your point. I just wanted to kind of balance it in a way that if, like you said, if I'm building something here now, right? We all know Nigeria. You were there. You cannot start any construction anywhere, and the community won't come closer. The local government won't come over, and some other government agency won't come around to come and collect money from you. Do you get that now? So if things are done rightly, right, maybe all this waste would have been Completely avoided. So I get your point.
Avoided. And that's exactly what happened because we are used to bribing. I don't deny, even myself, we try to get everything behind, everything behind. So probably that is what happened because they tried to get it behind and they just got it the wrong, whatever, But here to build a house, here it takes you 2 years, 2 years to go through the documents and everything and this and that and that. You have to be damn patient. You just cannot start from today to tomorrow. Yes, they went to the back and got the wrong paper. Sorry. But they should learn. I'm sorry, it's a big loss. It's a very huge loss. But anyway, we should learn.
I know they're probably hearing you as well. And, they would wish they had this advice when they were making those commitments, you would say, right?
They should learn, not bribing. Yeah. Nice talking to you, Maiyegun.
It's such a pleasure, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking your time, okay? Take it.
Bye.
Bye-bye, too.
You too. Take care, bye.
So that's an opinion that sometimes may be too blunt, too straightforward, but they are also needed because even though we might want to excuse the ignorance or otherwise of the victims themselves, but there is also the intentional corrupt part of the people in government who could have prevented all of this. I mean, let me take this. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir. How are you?
This is Kalu from London.
Kalu from London. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Sir, you are live. Everyone can hear you. Please go on.
Yeah. The topic you're discussing is quite interesting, to be honest with you. Yeah. Obviously, I'm just a bit like, it's laughable to be honest with you, but what I would say is there are so many other options than demolishing the house.
That's what I would think.
Yeah?
Like, you could demolish, people can demolish, they can demolish 5-10 houses. When it gets to 700, 800,
let's start from point zero. Yeah, point zero, ground zero. Yeah, these houses were built. Yeah, if I want to demolish them, I will have as well just bring out the Lagos master plan, display it to everybody to see.
Right.
First, to show how these properties violated the master plan. As soon as you do that, everybody will know from which point you're at. The next stage is, if your property is affected, these are the listed properties, create a website or a online portal. It doesn't cost you more than 300 to 400. Tell them, okay, all the landlord and whoever that owns property there, download your document onto this portal to prove who assigned off this your property before it started being built. Now you track it back to the government officials. If it's your administration, previous administration, or administration before, you create a panel and say, wait, just like you do with the NSAS panel. This guy said he paid you paper. These are the payment. These are the bank withdrawals. This is the payment. This is the master plan. How did you approve this? Most of those guys are still alive.
Some of them are senior public officials in Lagos State government office there too. Those who signed this paper that caused all this. I agree.
So when you bring it out that way, it becomes a plain, you're doing this idea of witch hunting will be taken out of the equation.
Totally.
Because then people will now see that you're being transparent. And anybody affected now can now understand why he's affected. That is option one. If you want to do a clear, then you go ahead and demolish. Because now you've gone through the process, you explain why that happens, and people that are accountable have been held to account. Then you go ahead and demolish your properties. That is option one. Option two, you call all the landlord, you say, this place was supposed to carry 20 billion cubic of water out of this area during rainy season. You guys are blocking it. Can you all guarantee that you're gonna, this is a contractor that will build an underground tunnel that will do exactly the same thing under your houses. You guys should pay for it. and we will build it. While we're building it, if your structure gets affected, then you will be bearing the brunt. That is option 2. Option 3, you can do compulsory buyback purchase. As a government, you can afford it. How much is your property worth? Each of these property are worth 10 billion each. Government is doing compulsory buyback because you already breached the law. We're either going to demolish or build a tunnel under. We're buying all your properties for half the price. We'll pay you half the price. Go and look for land somewhere else, and we'll pay you. All this issue of witch hunting will not even have come out. People will gladly understand that you've taken all the necessary precautions. I've given you option 1. We've gone through the panel. Option 2, we decide to build the drainage. If you guys don't want to pay for the drainage, option 3, we'll buy your property at half price. The table is before you, and all of you must agree. I'm not expecting out of 100 landlords, you tell me 60 people agree. No. All of you must agree to that condition. And you people will be responsible for maintaining that drainage until such a time when the government decide that they are satisfied with the maintenance, because you violated the law. It's a sane society, you make it work.
At least you find a means around it.
Thank you. And that is why I say there are several ways you could have gone around it. Because when you basically, what some of your callers have also alluded to, by the fact that, now they are beginning to make Nnamdi Kanu's prophecy become self-fulfilling. Because now people are thinking, oh, he warned you about this. Then it's going to happen in another place. Then it now became, oh, you guys are making this guy look like a saint.
So it's a pattern.
In the meantime, it's a common sense issue. It's just a common sense issue. And it doesn't cost much. And I can tell you, Maiyegun, most of these people that are in government position in Nigeria, some of them schooled abroad. They know the negotiation process. It's Nigeria. We did NSAS panel. It went through. Did we not do it? Some people say, oh, in Nigeria. No, it worked. When you put your feet down, say you want the panel to work, it will work. Owe's panel was about election. It's still in, it may not get implemented, but the moment you make it transparent a bit before you take the action, people will start realizing, wait, this guy has taken, he's at least, even though he's planning to victimize them, he's shown them why they broke the law. But it's not, you just wake up, you just start demolishing. And to be fair,
2 hours.
houses in Lagos, I would say is 80% foreign people that come from other places, because Lagos was capital, and 20% local indigenous. Now, it becomes a case of where no matter for every 10 houses you demolish, 8 are going to be foreigners, and foreigners are going to start saying, oh, you're chasing us out of the place. But it's a case of probability where the houses were built. And that is how I look at it. I'm not saying it's a perfect way. I'm just saying, in as much as
it could have been done differently if there is no kind of some motives behind this, that, destructive motive, destroy them, then we can talk later. So what are they going to now do with the land that if you put it in a Google map, Baba, if you put it in Google map, right, it is so close next to the motorway, like expressway. There's nothing like drainage. There's nothing like blocking anything at all. But because that used to be their excuse of why they have to do it and show no mercy, they couldn't use that here. They are now using the fact that they don't have all the papers. Who was supposed to give them the paper? The government. Who decided not to in the first place?
What I've just given you earlier is a perfect scenario where people
like the scenario that we could work with. I get that.
Thank you. However, bringing the Nigerian factor into it, somebody wants that land.
That's where I'm actually going to. And they could have it. They could have it if they wanted to. But like you said, follow the normal process that can at least, if you want to give any excuse, you are government. You can say they are wrong to be there, even if they are not. You are the government. But at the same time, you can actually, sort of, like you said, have some human empathy with your actions. Not like what we have been saying.
And that is the problem. Like if you remember when Fela was alive,
yes,
he said Nigerian government would rather burn stuff than take it to use for other things.
Honestly,
in the UK, they catch you with money. The government will take it and give it to the crown. The crown will use it to maintain themselves. In Nigeria, government will catch you with money. They will burn the money. Who are they deceiving? Are you burning the money that people need? There are no houses. You can say, okay, this place is, you guys are on the drainage. If you guys are not going to pay for the drainage, we're going to build mass housing for 10,000 people, five bedroom houses, 10, like they did, like the other person called about Jackson Estate. But one estate is there. Other estates are there. You cannot say, you know, I want to build an estate there because I feel that you guys are low cost housing estate. And before you do that, people will start saying, oh, you know what? Okay. They will even say, you know what? We'd rather, okay, finish building, we'll buy part of the house.
You get it?
Give us the contract, we'll build it. We'll build it. We'll even move our own properties to make sure that doesn't come up. There's so many ways we'll have done go around these things. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Like look at what Wike is saying about people that already have C of O in Abuja.
In Abuja, he said he has reduced it to 3.5 million naira now. Somebody was even abusing me last night that you just stop him misinforming the people. He has reduced it from 5 million to 3.5 million. I was like, Shane, go weary. But it is what it is.
3.5 million. The question you should ask yourself, like, I work with people that own properties in Europe. Once you have your mortgage here in the UK, the only thing you may not have is you get a lease for the land. Minimum lease is 100 years. If you want to get full ownership, it's more expensive. So the question becomes, once they give you that paper, you can log into land registry and you see your name there. But that name being there, if you like, go and bring the gods of go and bring Amadioha from Nigeria. They will tell you, okay, this person, this plot, this day was signed by this court. All the documentation is there.
That's right.
It doesn't cost us anything as a country to have a workable system.
A reliable registry.
There are people that will create the system that will make it work. But the Nigerian factor will make sure it doesn't work. Because if it works, the people that are supposed to manage it, these people that are rich, that are poor, that think these people that you think are bigger than you, they don't have anything.
They have nothing. Passe. You know what I said? I said,
in the real sense of it, once you put level playing field, you will now realize that person that you think, that guy is a governor, you now realize, oh, but this guy don't know anything. No.
You know,
in they carry legal degree, in they carry engineering degree. You don't know what it be. You don't know both 13. You go see the write 13 for the boat to make him go bring 13 spanner to remove the engineering for paper and carry. You don't know. You will be saying they will pump your tire. You sabi engineering person.
If the level is ground, I mean, if the ground is level, and if the playing field is actually level, right?
And that is what they were scared of when Peter Obi came out. The moment he said, if I'm not corrupt, 50% of corruption has gone, they know that the level playing field will begin to come up again.
Well,
you will not need to speak too much grammar.
I know.
You don't speak too much Turenchi. You will just come outside and they say, this person.
It is what you have to offer that will speak for you, not what you say. You know, what do you have to offer?
If you want to hear about Nigeria, go to Maiyegun. You go get Nigerian information as it is. If you want to get your TV move, go to here. That is what you start hearing under that kind of administration. And that was why it's not only Tinubu that made sure that Obi didn't make it. People that were benefiting from the system knew that,
the establishment.
You need to say, me where everybody they lie down when I come my village. So now they go know I don't know anything.
They're not going to even notice if I pass. You want that to happen in this place? No way.
No. Whatever it takes, this other guy must win. And they started sabotaging it from the bottom up.
Well, here we are. Everybody is going to actually have something to say at the end of the day. Everybody will have something to say about this whole thing at the end of the day.
Everybody go chop breakfast. With the people who they use to, and the people who they friend to. Everybody go chop breakfast.
Thank you so much, Kalu. You have a good one, okay?
You don't cast last. Everybody go chop breakfast. You don't cast last. Everybody go chop breakfast.
Hello. I have another caller. Hello there.
Yes, Maiyegun, how are you tonight?
I am very well. Thanks for asking. How are you?
All right. Thank you for the message. And I want to add a little bit input to what everybody has been saying.
Please.
That will show you how criminal these people are. It's just like when all these Igbo go to the market, they are demanding for money from those market people now, and they didn't give it to them. All they have to do, they will go and park their own car. They started they dismantle their market and all that just because they didn't pay them what they're supposed to pay them.
That's right.
You can't tell me how those houses that was demolished, that everybody will build where they're not supposed to build that.
And spend that much.
And spend that kind of money, 300 million naira. That will tell you the kind of people these people are. You know, so from what I've seen, from what I've heard so far, Maiyegun, someone is interested in that land. That's the reason why they're doing what they're doing.
Isn't it?
Because if they come up, because if they tell you are building where you're not supposed to build, but they went to Konshibu ground, not everybody that built in that pit that will not have an approval. And the way the Lagos State people are Lagos State and town planning does now, before you start your building, they will send people down there. You have to pay them from Alausa, you pay them transport fare to come down and do their job. When they inspect the land, they say, okay, you are good to go. You have to pay them again to go. After the foundation, they will come, another set of people will come again. You won't tell me all these people did not, one or two people.
They did not report back that some people are building on wrong land.
You know, so you see the same thing that just happened now. I will throw you back to one of your program you did a few years ago. Do you know the same thing that just happened now in Ogun State, where the governor Pali was issued another CFO that all this old land belongs to him. They now bring what is it called now to want to start demolishing. So the people in that community have to fight back
and pushed back. I remember
and
that.
push back before they could go back and say, I don't think it's something we can do. If those people fight out, that's a huge amount of money that are being wasted for no reason.
Honestly.
So if these people fight back and push back, I mean, some people will be there now. They cannot get back up for the rest of their life because they put all their resources in there.
Man, you know, this today, you know, the saddest thing there, Baba, you know, the saddest thing there is that there is actually no ongoing case. You know, in some places, you will know that there is a court case over your land. You'll be hearing it. They are fighting case. They are fighting case. There is no court case. There's no court judgment. There's no nothing. They just came and they said, we are demolishing all these places and we give everybody 2 hours to move out. Some people died. That's 4 people died that same day. Others who ended up in the hospital. Some of them are still battling with their lives right now, but they already demolished their houses now. Some people couldn't take anything out at all. They demolished everything with the properties in it. Everything, boom, like that.
That's right.
Like how? Why?
Do you know the same thing happened where Wasiu and they built this resort in Ogun State?
I heard about the fight there too. You had to use
that man took people's land. If you're not gonna part away with your land, you're gonna part away with your life. When you are alive, you can be saying this land belongs to me. So what we can see up there is obvious. Someone is interested in those areas. So I'm urging my Igbo friends and family now. They need to start looking elsewhere. That's not the only place to invest in. Let's go back to where we come from and invest in there. Because just look at the amount of money that's being wasted. So if those people truly care about development, about human life, about resources and everything, you won't just demolish your whole house just like that. There has to be a provision for it. There has to be something done before you can
go. There can always be many other options. That's what we are saying. You know, the level at which they went about it and even bragging about it, saying we still have more, we still have more to demolish. You want to demolish over 700 LCC.
So, my brother, if I was one of those people there, I will fight back. They need to gather together and fight those people. They are nothing but enemy. They are nothing but enemy of progress. You know. Well, thank you, Maiyegun. I just want to call you and say
thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
So this is where we should be drawing the curtain now for tonight. But I want to urge us, you know, all of us who are still here with me, you should take a moment and at least like the broadcast before you go, okay? Like and share. And I'm going to draw the curtains anyway. So I've managed to share this with us. People have shared their own opinions and contribution. All of you have made more in that comment section. If you joined us midway, great. You can watch this from the start again, okay? But I will see you some other time, okay? And until then, stay safe and good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin ti ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lérí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.